asking if this was to be operational, well, actually, if it was to be funded, how soon could it be operational?
Okay, well that goes right to the funding question, Kerry. And it essentially, we have all the steps laid out, we have all the expenses laid out. It happens as quickly as we have the funding to do it. I mean, within, reasonable human terms. This launch of Justice for Humanity, and it's justice4humanity.org if you want to help us make it happen. This phase of the launch is about the groundswell, where we are reaching out to the people, and if we're getting, $5, $10, $15, whatever people can donate, our larger donors who will come. There's plenty of people, very, affluent people who see what's going on, who want to make a difference. Those bigger donors are going to wait to see, okay, what's the public interest and support in the initial level? That's this phase. That's where we need everybody to come in and say, yes, I'm tired of this. These men and women have done the work to put the legal infrastructure in place. Enormous amounts of effort and time and funding have already gone into this. And it can happen as quickly as the steps are accomplished with the funding. And if you go to justiceforhumanity.org and you hit the donate button, it'll take you to the Indiegogo site where every step is laid out. You want to see what needs to be done? It's a big, green, beautiful sign saying what needs to be done, how quickly we can make this happen. So rather than take up a lot of time with that, I would just urge everybody.
Okay, but let me just ask you. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. So Justice for Humanity with a 4, number 4, justiceforhumanity.org. Okay?
Yes.
And we will also put that on the screen when we put this up on YouTube now. But within those parameters, are you saying that X amount of funding will then guarantee this going live within X number of months? In other words, are you specific in terms of the amount of money necessary and the amount of months, or are you, vague? Because I guess that would be people's concern.
We're very specific. Phase 1 is $500,000.
Okay.
For a crowdfunding campaign, that's a lot of money. So I'm told by crowdfunding experts, whoa, we're talking about the first licensed international court of human rights for the people to address massive systemic violations that are killing humanity and the planet. I'd say that's a modest initial budgetary figure. Maybe Matthew, you want to jump in on how quickly the infrastructure, might come into place if we had all the funding in hand today?
I think it could become operational, and I don't know the amounts. I don't remember the stages. But from the big picture I see, it could be fully operational within 3 months if it just has the financial muscle to finish the tasks at hand. The judges are certainly available. One of the biggest problems is, economic slavery, and people aren't free to be volunteers that much. It's easy to say, oh, well, we could get a lot of judges to volunteer part-time, but they're all slaves to these crappy day jobs. And did you notice over the last few years? A few years ago, when you'd call a friend or associate and they're at work, they were allowed to talk to you. Notice over the last few years, everybody says, oh, I can't talk. They don't allow me to talk. It's like the whip. You can hear the whips cracking. We're in economic slavery now. People aren't that free to volunteer part-time. So the idea that, the judges need salaries, it's not because they want to get paid or they're doing it for money. It's because we have to set people free. I'm working with large groups of churches and nonprofits on, non-judiciary matters. And, the goal is how do we set people free to do these charitable missions and humanitarian missions? People have to be set free. Working your day jobs, never being able to fight for humanity is not going to work. These things need funding so that the freedom fighters are free to fight.